Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Business Growth Made Easy podcast. My name is Maria Fontana, your favorite intuitive business consultant and growth strategist, helping salon professionals and service providers create more profits with less stress. And I have an amazing, amazing industry icon, dear friend with me from the East Coast today, the beautiful Vivienne Mackinder, and she is the CEO of an amazing online educational program, and she's going to tell you a little bit about that. Welcome, Vivienne.
Thank you so much, Maria, for having me today. I love your energy. I feel like I need you as my wake-up call.
I'd love to call you every morning. So welcome. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself. I'm sure you're an industry icon. I'm sure most people listening know who you are, but for maybe the few newbies that don't, just give them a little briefing about you, your magic, and what you bring to the world today.
Well, thank you, first of all, for having me on your show. I'm a hairdresser of over 45 years now, so it's been a long journey, still learning, still humbled by cutting a square bob.
Isn't that funny?
I have, my background is that I was at London College of Fashion, where I was training to be a hairdresser for film and theatre. I then decided, that's scary. So I went to Vidal Sassoon's, which was even more scary. I did an apprenticeship program there, went on to become an artistic director for Vidal Sassoon's, traveled the world for Sassoon's, had an amazing journey. Then I ran away to Canada. I eloped with my student, and I actually opened an academy in Vancouver, had 3 amazing years there. Then I went back to the UK and became an artistic director for Trevor Sorbie. Again, traveled the world and did some amazing things with Trevor. And then Trevor brought me to the United States, originally for 9 months, and 25 years later, I'm still here. And I've been invested in, obviously, I've had my salon life, I've had my editorial life, I've done fashion shows, New York, Paris, London, done shows all over the world. My favorite place probably to be is in a photo studio. That's where I feel like life comes alive. And I have been very devoted to education. Started Hair Designer TV 17 years ago.
Love it.
I was one of the first ones out there. There was no YouTube, no Facebook. I was definitely a baby. And as I say, when you're a pioneer, expect arrows in your back.
Yeah.
So I got hit by all sorts of things. The Google Analytics didn't exist, and everything we know and take for granted today did not exist. So it truly was trailblazing. So 17 years later, humbled, learnt tons by the digital platform. Today, everyone, their friend, their dog, and their pony is now online. And that makes it harder as a consumer to purchase or to know where to park and curate and find information that will serve you well. So now Hair Designer TV has 1,000 videos there, and it is this incredible library. And I feel like it's painting the Brooklyn Bridge. They finish painting the bridge and then they start all over again. That's where I am. I'm always under construction.
I know. Well, I think Hair Designer TV is amazing, and it is a curated, high quality educational platform. And like you said, there's so much noise in the online space that people are very confused as to where to park and where to purchase. But I think the most important thing is that they need to do their research and purchase based on experience, quality, credentials, professionalism, because if they don't, and they don't have a system, which I know you're a big fan of systems, tell me a little bit about the magic of your systems and bringing in educational systems and how to help the salon professionals and the service providers out there right now who may be a little, what's the word I want to use, kind of off track, a little unmoralized, feeling unmotivated, and how they can take advantage of exactly what you teach to, level up their game and show up in a different place.
Well, I think the big thing is that we all need to have a sense of purpose. And without progress, there's only stagnation. So standing still is often going backwards.
Yes.
And I think that every human being wants to feel cared for. They want to feel significant. They want to have purpose and goals, and they need direction. Well, some people are self-motivated. Some people are self-driven with passion. Last year during COVID, was feeling so sad and so unmotivated for the first time in my life. I'd never actually been on unemployment, and I found myself having to go on unemployment, and it was like a shock to me. And I thought, what do you do when you've lost 95% of your business, and what are you going to do? So I thought, well, you reinvent yourself. You can have a 1 hour pity party and then time out. And I thought, I'm going to reach out to the iconic hairdressers that I know within our industry. And I gave birth to a product called Hair Heroes. I think we now have almost about 30 hair heroes within our series. And I reached out to them all and I said, I wanted to know their story. I wanted to know how they became successful. What was their thought process that separated them from other hairdressers?
Yeah.
And when you think about it, Maria, we've all got sinks, lights, chairs, mirrors, brushes, tools. We all have the same gear. Okay, some's fancy and some is not. But what separates those people who are either multimillionaires, or they are award-winning stylists, or they're happy in their job and they love what they're doing? What separates them? So I went on this journey to study success and study what makes life great. And I found that with them all, they all had passion. They all had purpose. They were all driven. And underneath it all, they all had very strong classic foundation. So all they did was endorse everything I believe in. And you asked me about systems. Systems are critical, because if you want to climb the ladder to success, yes, just imagine right now a ladder. And you want to go from the run 1 to 5, and you stretch yourself and you go up to 5 because you want to get to the top as quickly as you can. You want an Instagram moment. You're going to miss valuable lessons at 2, 3, 4 that make you who you are at 5. So you hit 5 and you go, oh, I'm having a problem here. Oh, this didn't work. Oh, confidence. Oh, fear. All of those realities show up. And what happens is you go back down. Now you're defeated because you're now going backwards. You're no longer progressing. And someone's saying to you, if you're being mentored correctly, well, you need to start at level 1. Master 1 before you go to 2, master 2 and then go to 3, because what you're developing is successful habits. So yeah, I have on Hair Designer TV systems that take you through building blocks, and it starts with the consultation. Something that no one spends enough time with. And I'm not talking about what are we doing today, or I'll take an inch off, or let's put some little lights through the front of your hair. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a dive into the head of the client, working from the inside of the head to the outside of the head. So that's where I begin, because if you get that part right, you're doing the hair that you want to do, that you're enjoying doing, because you're clear about the law of attraction. And so I not only teach how to do consultations, but design to the face shape, design to the personality. I go into this in such depth to the point where now design the kind of clients that you want to have sitting in your chair. And it's interesting. We have Presley Poe, who's an incredible colorist, being featured in a couple of weeks on Hair Designer TV. She's tattooed and pierced. She's got her shaven head. She's gorgeous. She's an amazing personality. And she's a brilliant, brilliant hair colorist. When you watch her work, and I asked her about her huge following on Instagram and all the things that she's doing, every single one of those people that you see on our Instagram feed are her clients. It's not staged. It's not a dolly head. They are real people. So she, with intention, moved to Portland, branded herself in a way that was true to self. She created the look on herself first. She projected that to the universe. She mirrored that within her social feed. She spent an average of 4 hours a day on her social feed, creating her persona and her brand. And now she has those people coming and sitting in her chair. Now, if you want those type of clients, you're in heaven. It's not for everybody. I respect that. But you can do the classic version of it. You can do the rock and roll version of it. But intentionality and understanding that all begins with doing the consultation with yourself before you go out to the client.
Yes, and showing up authentically. I know myself with my clients, even me in my own journey of reinventing myself, creating another business for myself. Even though I am a brick and mortar salon owner and educator for so many years, it was really honing in to what resonated with me. And I think it's so important what you're saying, that you have to look within, work within, and then create your destiny, staying in the poor me mode, because you could easily go down that rabbit hole and stay there. So let's talk about, if there was one or two things that you would recommend to all our audience that they should do once they get off this podcast today, wherever they're listening, if they're listening live, if they're listening on YouTube, if they, wherever they may be, what can they implement into their lives to really kickstart their careers, revamp their careers, just revamp their souls to be back on purpose and realign themselves with having more passion and more profits, really?
Well, I'm going to start with this. And this came from Darren Hardy, who I'm a huge fan of. Incredible business leader. He said, design your lifestyle first and reverse your career into it. This is a time we've had to stop, but think about designing your lifestyle first and reverse your career into it. How many of us have sacrificed for our career, family experiences, relationships, our state of well-being, our peace, our physical well-being? How many sacrifices have we made by being too busy? So I think you have to look at, if I was to design my lifestyle first and reverse my career into it, what would that look like? And does it require travel? Does it mean being an independent? Does it mean having a strong tribe around you? Does it mean surrender and letting go and being able to delegate so that you have more free time? I recommend a date for each person listening. And I suggest you go and get yourself some Post-it notes that are color coordinated, and you determine whether your pink is financial and whether your green is your hobbies. You divide it up into categories, and I want you to think about your financials first. What kind of money do you want to have? What do you need versus what do you want? Think about your home. The quality of your home. Have you overbuilt? Are you too confined? Think about your home. Is your garden too much and you can't manage it anymore? Do you need a garden? Do you need to get out there and put your hands in the soil and rebalance your life? What does home life look like? Relationships, professional and personal, your spiritual path, your physical well-being, your hobbies, the holidays, how you have your recreational time. What is it that rewards you? And write out on each Post-it note a word. So if it's financial, I want to earn, 100,000, whatever it may be. If it's your spiritual, I need to spend more time meditating, whatever that is. And you start to write down and you purge your brain until it's empty. You have no more thoughts. So put on some beautiful music, maybe light candles, maybe have a glass of wine, or maybe go and sit on the beach or be in nature, and just take that time for you, having a date with yourself, and go inside. And there's a really good example here of Wayne Dyer said this, that just imagine, Maria, right now, if you lost your keys in the house, and instead of looking around in the house for your keys so that you can get in your car and go off, you go outside and look for the keys. And you're looking outside and you can't find the keys. Well, the keys aren't outside, they're inside, right? So many times we look to the outside for our answers, but the key is in the inside. You're
right. You're so right.
So when you start to take the time of taking these Post-it notes, you then come back with all your Post-it notes, you put them on a wall. Now you organize them. What is possible this year? What is possible next year? What is possible in a 5-year plan? You just start to map. And you start to be your own GPS. Don't let life do it to you. You get in the driver's seat and say, what do I want? And be realistic. And I always say, start off with a baby goal. Because when you start off with a baby goal, then there's a sense of achievement. It's like when you're in debt, pay off the baby bill first, because you have such a sense of achievement versus the huge mortgage bill that is like, well, they'll go on beyond my death type of thing. So then you can start to map out your life and say, okay, where are my gaps? What brings me joy? What do I do that I love to do? Where is my passion? And again, going back to my hair heroes, and for any of you who have not seen the heroes, please do check it out, because it's on Hair Designer TV.
And we're going to drop all those links below, all these links to connect with Vivienne, her content, her amazing, if you want to talk to her, have a conversation, whatever that looks like, connect with her. Her social media, everything's going to be down in the description. So please reach out. I'm sorry, Vivienne, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just want to make sure everyone knows they can connect with you anytime.
Yeah. So listening to people who are successful, you have a choice to be envious, to be jealous, or learn. So it's really very important that when you look at someone doing something really amazing, don't get jealous of them. I mean, you can feel it for a second and go, okay, I'm jealous. And then you can feel the envy. Oh, I'm just, no, okay. Do you want to do what they did? I had a friend that came out here. I live in the Hamptons and I have a very nice home. And I had a friend come out here from New York, dear friend. And he said, oh, you're so lucky, Vivienne, having this beautiful home in the Hamptons. And at the time I had a place in Manhattan. He said, you're so lucky. You have such an amazing lifestyle. And I said, well, I've worked very hard for this lifestyle. I said, do you envy my bills? Do you envy that I work as hard as I do? Do you envy that? Or do you just envy my end result? And I shut him up. It was like, oh my gosh. But it was like, come on now, because, everything has a price. So when you listen to people who are highly successful, learn from them, put judgment aside, because they may say something, and I may say something to you today that will change an attitude, and it will shift the direction and the level that you can go to. Because very often we overestimate what we can achieve in a year and we underestimate what we can achieve in a lifetime.
Yes, it's so true. It's so true. And so many people want, unfortunately with technology, I've noticed a lot of newer entrepreneurs, and I say entrepreneurs because I work with all kinds of entrepreneurs. They want a quick fix. They've been sold a false, quick fix. You're going to be, and let's be real. Everything takes intention and doing and a mindset and a mentor. I'm a big fan. My success, I know your success, has been greatly fueled by mentors. So on a closing note, let's just tell everyone what the one most powerful thing they can do is, I say this year, invest in themselves. And I know some people are like, wow, Maria, how can I invest in myself? I have no money. That's a mindset. Vivienne, share your secret to why they need to invest in themselves.
Well, if you don't invest in yourself, then who will? And there's always money somewhere, whether you have to cut back in one area in order to do something else. And we're not talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, for goodness sake. Hello, you can come onto my site, which is a membership site, and you can take very basic courses there that are very inexpensive. The value of them is extraordinary. Get clear about where you are and where you want to go. Look at where you are now and look at the gap. And look at where you want to be. Look at who can support you on that journey. So Maria, for example, we have the designer program. And for any salon owners here, you may be interested in this. We're going to actually, for the first time, do designer program live every Monday for 3 hours. So we have a course that takes you from the fundamentals of blow drying through dress work into hair cutting. And it takes you on this journey for new hire. So what I have is an artistic team member who's going to, for 3 hours every week, connect with everyone on the program. We're going to start it in April. And we're launching it for 7 months so that we babysit your staff for 3 hours every week. Now, what's going to happen there? Inspiration, motivation, drive, accountability, posting your work on our site so we can see what you're doing. There's an accountability there so that the salon owner can get on and run the business. While I say it's for new hire, if there are gaps in your craft, fill that gap. And now's the chance to learn. So just decide who you want to be, decide what reinventing yourself looks like. And when I say to people about Hair Designer TV, we are a library of 1,000 videos. So what I say is the first place to go is to a course called Who is Sitting in Your Chair. And it takes you through the journey, the narrative of taking your clients from where they are now to the next place. It will inspire you, it will motivate you, and everyone who's taken this course and who follows it has seen an increase in their referrals and retention, like huge difference in how they approach their hair. So when you get that right, then everything else is a prepared canvas. You're open to learn. And I think that's a huge thing. So I'm recommending to you guys, check out the launch of our designer program for actually joining us every week. It'll be in April. check out Hair Heroes to get motivated and inspired. And just because remember, human behavior is contagious.
Yes. Yes. Surround yourself with like-minded people. Stay away from people who are going to take you down. Surround yourself with like-minded, positive, high vibe, and aligned people. I always talk about being aligned and awakened, and some people don't get what that means. It simply means what resonates and feels good in your soul, because that's your truth. And being awakened means that you're taking baby steps to move forward, right, Vivienne?
Yes, very well said.
Well, I want to thank you so much. You are a true honor to have on my show. I love you. I think you're amazing. And everyone, I want you to follow Vivienne. I want you to connect with her. I want you to check out her amazing educational products and start investing in yourselves. Vivienne, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I wish you continued success.
Thank you. You too.